Welp, it's official. What if I told you the Fed did something they have not done in the past 6 years? And how would you feel if you had an opportunity 6 years ago to invest in the stock market? Well, theoretically speaking, we kind of do. The reason why, because Jerome Powell capitulated. Trump said, cut those interest rates again. Jerome Powell said, I'm not going to do that. Trump said, cut those interest rates again. Jerome Powell said, okay. And now, for the third time in 12 months, the Fed has cut interest rates. What does that mean? Is it going to be a recession? I don't know about that. Is the market going to go up like crazy? Last time this happened was 6 years ago, pre-COVID. From 2019 to early 2020, we cut interest rates. Well, not we, but the Fed, they cut rates 3 times. And what happened to the market over that time period? Stagnant. But 12 months after that, the market went up by 26%. Woo! Now, on average, the market makes 9% a year. So $100,000 will usually make $9,000. S&P 500 did 26,000, almost triple the amount that it usually does. So what does that mean for our pockets? We're going to go over that and what investments we should look into, because the Fed lowers rates and the market might be going up. Before we get started, as always, like, subscribe, and share to our channel. To our road to 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel. It's been tough trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Got a lot of views, but not a lot of subscribers. So hit the subscribe button. And as always, y'all ready? There goes. Well, my profiteers, here we go. The Federal Reserve has lowered rates, and the Fed lowers rates for a few different reasons. The first reason, they want to stimulate the economy. So why would the Fed want to stimulate the economy? What's the reason why? Because the economy is slowing. Look, we have job cuts after job cuts after job cuts. Amazon cut 30,000 jobs. UPS, 15,000 jobs. And we could go on and on and on. Even though the labor statistics, they kind of fudge the numbers, they even show we had a cut in jobs. And also, expectations of hiring lowered as well. So it's like when you're on a boat and you can see in the distance, you see those waves start to come. Well, that's what's happening right now. It's a wave forming, and that wave is news. So the Fed says, I want to hunker down that wave. I want to smooth the ocean, which is our economy. So how do I do that? I lower interest rates. Because with our lower interest rates, what happens? The economy gets stimulated. We are a consumer economy. We grow because we spend, and when we spend, everything goes up. Sometimes prices at the grocery store, and that's not fun, but the stock market definitely goes up. And when the stock market goes up, more companies make money. So when more companies make money, what do? They hire. Now, this time around, I don't know if they're going to hire. They might retain, maintain, and get more AI, but conversation for another day. So when the economy is stimulated, we are spending money. And when we spend money, Walmart stock goes up. Procter & Gamble stock goes up. And a couple other companies as well, which we'll talk about. So the announcement today sent shockwaves to the stock market. It also sent shockwaves to investors and also people who love their cryptocurrency, which we'll talk about as well. On the flip side, the Fed cutting rates also says the economy is not only slowing down, but the consumer, from a work standpoint, might be in some trouble. The Fed just doesn't lower rates just to lower rates, right? They do it for a reason. So, very important. The frivolous spending that we're doing, it needs to stop. For college educated, well, they're college educated because they're graduates. So for graduates from a college has went up by 25% the past 2 years. It's harder for people who college educated get a job because of AI. So we might have that nice job now. It does not mean that nice job is going to be there a month or a year from now. So as we have the ability to buy more things at a lower price, you might want to think twice about it. We might want to leverage, and instead of spending money on things, we spend money on investments. Case in point, real estate. Next 6 to 12 months, it is going to be a buyer's market. Right now, it's a seller's market. Tough for sellers to sell, but it's still a seller's market. When the Fed lowers rates, what happens to mortgage rates? They go down. Mortgage rates are already at a 3-year low, and it's only going to go down more. So should we invest in ourselves like real estate or buy something frivolous? Especially as we know, if home prices will probably go up next year, should we buy something today? And also, if we get a lower interest rate, should we just refinance it 12 months from now? This is how we build wealth, because it's going to be some people, not all, but some people who look at this as a negative. The economy's slowing down. Oh, what to do? We should look at this as a positive. Another thing that's a positive is refinancing our cars. You see, anybody that bought a car the last year and a half, they're hurting right now. Wouldn't it be great if we had a car payment with 3 years left to refinance that car for 3 years? Don't do 5 again, y'all. At a lower rate. Wouldn't it be great to now take advantage of a 0% interest credit card because rates are down, which means credit card rates should be going down? If I got that 22% credit card, I owe $10,000, they're charging me $2,200 a year. Shouldn't I be financed that to maybe 0%? So now that extra $2,200, I'm not paying anymore? Of course. This is how we take advantage of the economy slowing down. But we have two things that's going on at the same time when it comes to the Fed lower rates. Number one, the economy, as I just talked about. But number two, the stock market. In the economy and the stock market does not go hand in hand. Like in the Bible, the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, not when it comes to the stock market. They're the same, but they're completely different. You see, the market looks forward looking. We look at the economy past looking, right? What has happened. The stock market looks at what is going to happen. And since we're a 12 to 18 month outlook, and historically, the market has done very well 12 months after Fed rate cuts, past performance does not guarantee future results. Only God knows the future, but the market's probably going to go up. No guarantees, but the market's probably going to go up. It has every single time the Fed lowered rates 3 times in 12 months. So we'll see. So should we take advantage of that? We should. And today, prices of stocks will probably be higher 12 months from now. So should we wait to see what's going to happen? Should we wait to the first quarter of next year to see earnings at the end of the year to see if companies really made money during the holiday time? No, it's too late. The stock is worth $100. We wait and buy it 3 months from now. Now it's worth $110. It's up by 10%. We've lost money. It's the cost of inaction. You see, you not acting today costs you more money in the long run. I, my friends, will look at the stocks. I, my friends, will look at the real estate. And I, my friends, will not wait. Not a recommendation, but information. And it's 3 different sectors that do amazing during the times of Fed cuts. The first, home builders. And you're thinking to yourself, home builders? How is that possible? Well, home builders like KB Homes, for instance, who's up by 4%, the Fed lowered rates, were announced to lower rates at 12 o'clock. From 12 to 4, when the market closed, it went up by 4.4%. The market makes 9% for the year. They literally made in 4 hours what it takes the market 6 months to make. The reason why is because home builders get paid not one, but 2 different ways. The first way they get paid, they sell the house, right? So if it's a buyer's market and we're buying and more people are trying to buy, then what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be more opportunity and more houses being sold. And if there's more houses being sold, isn't that a good thing for KB Homes? Shouldn't their stock go up because they have less inventory? They have more money? They're selling more things? Yes, that's number one. But number two is something that Wall Street loves to look at. See, everybody likes when people are buying, right? Real estate agents get the commission, stimulate the economy. We're happy. We got a new home, great. And then, of course, protect that home to do the relaxed estate. When you can create your trust, your will, and your power of attorney right on the website, www.therelaxedestate.com. Protect yourself and protect your house. That's number one. But number two, what Wall Street loves is profit margins. You see, because they are building the house, if interest rates go down, guess what happens? The cost of lumber should theoretically speaking go down. The price of steel should theoretically speaking go down. The cost of roofing should go down. Shingles should go down. All your expenses should go down. So if we're making the same money or even making more money as we're pushing up prices because it's more demand, same supply, more demand, that means prices of houses go up. What's that going to do to our profit margin? Are we going to make more profits or less profits when our expenses go down, but our revenue goes up? Well, if things cost $100,000 to build a house and now it costs $75,000, if I still sell that house for $200,000, I didn't just make $100,000. I made $125,000. That's a 25% increase in profit margin. Now you think about doing that on thousands, tens of thousands of houses worldwide. Well, countrywide at least. I don't know about worldwide. You get the picture. This sector, my friends, is going to do very well. Not a recommendation, just information, and past performance does not guarantee future results, but the home builder sector, something that you want to keep an eye on. Number two, well, when things are lowered from an interest rate standpoint, in the words of, is that Escape or Toll? Who do I run to? We run to the bank. To do what? Refinance. We run to the bank to refinance. What do? Closing costs, please. Consolidation, please. Refinance, please. Home equity line of credit, please. And who's making the money? The banks. Banks historically have a spike in the stock price over the next 12 months when the Fed lowers rates. And they did it the past 3 times. Banks, blue chips, too big to fail. We know that because of what happened in 2008. That was my first year in the business, you guys. I started as a licensed financial advisor with Edward Jones in 2007. And in 2008 to 2009, bottom fell out. I learned quickly about money and about banks causing all the trouble, but being too big to fail. So even if we have some trouble down the road, which I'm not saying we are, banks being too big to fail, they'll be okay. Especially your Bank of Americas of the world, not a recommendation. Especially your JP Morgans of the world, not a recommendation. Your Wells Fargo's of the world, definitely not a recommendation. But banks will be, in my opinion, a sector of the investment economy that's going to grow because we're going to be using banks. We're going to be using banks and doing more things in banks over the next 12 months compared to the past 12 months. Nobody wanted to refinance anything because interest rates were too high. Interest rates are at a 3-year low, and it's going to continue to go down because the Fed lowered rates. So it's going to be people that were just waiting to take cash out their house to do something. Waiting to refinance. Waiting to buy that new pool, to do that new landscaping project, to put that new screened-in patio. And now rates are lowered and they can do it. Oh, we are a consumer economy. So number 2 sector is banks. But then number 3, see, cryptocurrency has an 85% correlation with the stock market. Meaning 85% of the time when the market goes up, crypto goes up. But also, the dollar contracting. And when the dollar contracts, we think about a system that doesn't need the dollar. Some look at gold, but for those retail investors who are stimulating the economy during the good times and bad times, crypto. And crypto, still new. Bitcoin, still new. IBIT, symbol IBIT, not a recommendation. Still 2 years old, y'all. 2 years old. The number 1 inflow of all ETFs. What does that mean? That means no money was put in any other ETF as much as symbol IBIT. Is that because of BlackRock owning 7% of the world's population? Maybe, because they own IBIT. But no other fund had more money put into that in 2024. And it appears it's the same in 2025. So with all the institutions, all the governments, all the states buying Bitcoin as a reserve, like this oil and gold, do you think Bitcoin's going to go down or go up? Now, it has went down lately, but it's a great time to buy. It's at literally a 25% discount. Back in April, if somebody told me Bitcoin would be down by 25% at a discount, I would say yes. 2 months ago, when Bitcoin was at as high at 123 a coin, 123,000 a coin, by the way. If somebody told me 2 months from now you can buy this at 90,000 a coin, I say, sign me up. You had the opportunity today, you're going to take advantage of it. Now, don't go YOLO into Bitcoin, into bank stocks, or home building stocks. Information, not a recommendation, and past performance does not guarantee future results. But because of Jerome Powell saying, oh, Trump, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it, Trump. And the Federal Reserve, the stock market, historically has a probability of going up. The question is, are you going to take advantage of it? Because the cost of inaction, 6 months from now, you look back and say, man, I wish I would have. I saw this guy after I subscribed to his channel called Painful Profits. He told me I should look into it, and I didn't. Guess what? 5 years from now, things are going to be higher. 10 years from now, things are going to be higher. So take advantage of it today. All right, my friends, with that is that. The Fed cut rates for the 3rd time in 12 months. Let's see what happens. As always, love is love. Do your research, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Let's make some painful with painless profits together, y'all. Peace.
And you just want to get paid. Tired of making the money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, painful profits to help you seek change. And you just want to get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Painful profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You want to feel empowered by making money decisions.